Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show, where we show you how to buy unwanted vacant land and sell it for more on the internet. I'm Steve Butala.
I'm Jill DeWitt.
We are your hosts. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we are the experts in this niche land flipping business.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com. All right, let's get this show started.
Hey there, Steve Butala for Land Academy. Welcome to our Cash Flow from Land show. In this episode, Jill and I discuss a few creative ways some of our members use our education program, Cash Flow from Land, for their own purposes, like how to buy a vacation lot in the northern part of their state, super cheap. So, hey, Jill, how are you?
Hey, great.
Hey, some people love acquisitions, some love sales, and some people love to cut to the chase and kind of just use their program in their own customized way. Mm-hmm. And, I wanted to talk about both of those ways and some of the ways that you're seeing our members use it to their own benefit. I know you love sales. And acquisitions are actually my favorite, but what are you seeing? What are some different ways that you're seeing our members use this program for specifically what they need?
A number of members are kind of learning in stages, is what I found. They've got through the whole program because it covers everything from your, big picture business, planning and how you want to end up, to acquisitions, all the way through marketing, all the way through sales, all the way through, day-to-day operations, running your business. Everything's in there. But some folks are choosing to start with the back half, which is what I've seen the most, where they want to start with learning the marketing part, maybe because we set them up, a lot of them with a free property, but they're starting with the marketing part and the selling. So what they're doing is going to our landstay.com site and reaching out to me and buying properties from me that way, not doing the mailers and the marketing part yet. They're getting really comfortable with the back half. That's just one small.
Right. So, our company and most companies, or most real estate companies, are broken up into two separate areas: acquisitions, right, and sales.
Right.
And we cover the whole thing. We cover it from the very, very beginning, how to get your website going and the whole thing, and on the back end of it, how to sell it, how to build your buyers list real fast and keep building it. So some people, like I said in the intro, I guess some people are interested in acquisitions and some are in sales. So some people, they don't want to have any anything to do with that, acquisitions. They just want to it's kind of like the rental house model. They don't really want to go out. They want to pick a house that they like. Not super buy it cheap. That's not real important to some people, and rent it out and be a good landlord. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what some people have done with ours, where they just learn how to market the property and sell it on terms and build a big cash flow. With acquisitions, some people just love buying super cheap property and then shoving it over to another department like me. I love the super cheap data piece. I just love it.
Yes. Well, maybe that's it, because I'm talking more with the salespeople because that's my thing, and you're more in tune to the acquisition people because that's your thing.
Right.
So, yeah. So I get that.
I had a conversation recently with a guy. It's a little bit off. It's on topic, but it's off the real estate topic. This guy took the principles of our program and went and bought an RV. He went.
Really?
He did all the research, just like we do with land. We do all the research. We look at the data, and we extract the ones that are clearly obvious to me from a data standpoint, who wants to sell their property. There's signs, they stop paying their taxes. There's a lot of signs. They don't live in the state. They've owned it for 50 years, whatever.
Right.
So there's the same thing with, apparently with like DMV records. This guy somehow got a hold of some DMV records, applied all the principles, looked at the records, and just sent out offers to buy a personal RV for himself. That
Are
was
you telling
ridiculously
me this?
Cheap.
Because you want an RV.
No, I do not. I do not want, if I was going to buy an RV, this is how I would do it. But,
yeah, no.
Well,
because I could do this and get an airplane. Everyone. let's be serious. They're not keeping their maintenance current.
Yeah.
I could find all that data.
I bet you could. Don't you have to do an annual on a plane?
Totally.
I wonder if you could get records who failed their annual.
Who's not keeping up?
Or there's for 4 years they haven't done an annual.
You know what? I'm sure it's like boats. So I'm sure like boats. People know at the boat yard or however you want, at the marina, who
hasn't paid their slip fees.
Right.
I've bought a boat this way.
There you go.
You go talk to the harbor master and say, who hasn't paid their slip fees for 6 months? That boat's for sale.
This show just turned into how Jill and Steven are going to acquire the new toys they want.
Let me tell you a funny boat story. Can I tell you a funny boat story?
Absolutely.
I got this crazy idea several years ago that I would start a company. It was called in Southern California. And the name of the company is called Free Boat Removal. So, sticking to the lifelong program that we have, what did I do? The first step, I go to Craigslist and put a little free posting in there that says, free boat removal, no strings. Your boat must be with some stuff. I had to turn it off.
That's insane.
And then I stopped it.
That's
because,
fantastic.
I'll tell you, there's a lot to remove in a boat. There's a reason that they're all sitting there.
Wow. Do you have to pay the back slip fees?
It's all what you negotiate. Marinas are owned just like apartment buildings. So most of the time, sometimes they're municipal and they're owned by the city and managed by the city. But,
this is actually not a bad business model.
But, what's great about our business? I'm glad you said that because it's an awful business model. And
You got me going. I'm like, here's a whole new division.
So
it's
what
boat
happens
stay.
is when someone says yes, yeah, come and remove my boat. Here, you can have it. The keys are in the envelope, that happened. Then you got to incur all kinds of real serious expenses.
Dude, it's like the mortgage downturn. People just mailing in their keys and leaving.
With our business model, and this wasn't meant to plug our business model, we don't have any inventory. We don't have to manage anything in an office.
Yeah.
So pretty soon you got 10 boats. Where do you put them? You got to put them in a...
And they're falling apart.
Yeah, they're falling apart.
Then the engines aren't working. You couldn't sell it if you wanted to. Now
Some
you're
of them
stuck with it.
Are too big to even get out of the water. Now you need a warehouse and on and on and on. So what I tried to do when that was happening was just align myself with somebody who was set up to do that, like a local boat yard or whatever. And they were all like, yeah, congratulations. Good luck.
Have fun. We're out. Okay, never mind. Not a great idea.
With planes, I may think I don't know. I know nothing about planes.
Yeah, you got to say, where are you going to put them? It's an inventory.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
So we buy this land. It's in a different state.
Full circle to why we're doing what we're doing.
It's just an APN, an assessor's parcel number, and a spreadsheet for us. There's not a lot to manage.
Exactly. There may be some property taxes, not a big deal. They're often not exorbitant, depending on the property. Easy.
So, and then there's on the acquisition side, there's some people that purchase the program, get involved in Success Plan, and then they decide that they don't like sales very much, so they just sell their property to other people in Success Plans, or other members of Land Academy.
Right.
Or they build we talk about how to build a list of property owners. Hey, here's the secret. Here's how you build an A list of people who are going to buy your vacant land before you even pay for it. You find out all the other people who own property in this area that you're buying this property, and they will buy it if it's priced right. I almost guarantee it.
How do I do that?
You go on the internet. Thank you for asking, Jill. You go on there's two places to do this. On the internet, there's properties posted all over the place. So you take a look there and you see who owns or represents, if they're agents, and they get the contact information. You say, hey, I noticed you got a property over here listed for sale. I got one listed for half the price. Are you interested? They will run. They'll drop everything and run.
Perfect. Toward you.
The other way you can do it, and it's very sophisticated, and this is the right way. It's a little more expensive and takes longer. So nobody does it except us.
I.e. you.
You get the county records, or you get the data that we have access to.
Okay, us. I wasn't sure where you're going with that.
And you reach the people. You will pick up lifelong A-list people.
Right.
If you send them mail and say, just for you, I know you own 6 properties in this area. I've got one ready to go. Yep. And then you can start. What ends up happening if you do that, and this has happened to us with a guy your A-list guy. He says, well, I'll tell you, I'm not going to pass on this property, but I've got allocated $70,000 for this little area over here, but I don't know how to buy property there.
Right.
So you're sending out a mailer.
Yep.
Right for him.
Exactly.
That takes all the sales out of it.
It does. It's easy. It's just like fulfilling an order.
Yep.
It's like you have an order and you're just fulfilling the order. How great is that?
Right.
So, and they'll tell you exactly the size they want.
And how much they'll pay. So you just got to make sure you pay less.
You are correct. 100% correct.
What else have you seen, Jill? Some crazy ways people use this concept.
I'm thinking. Well, I mean, did we really talk about did we dig into their vacation lot for their family?
No, you're exactly. Go ahead on that.
Okay. Some
and preppers and stuff
of our members are not looking to necessarily be in the business, but the whole big picture strategy of, finding a property in the area they want and how to buy it right. For me, growing up in Southern California, I'll just give an example. We all loved Big Bear. And so, you and I joked about that, having some Big Bear property in that area. It's San Bernardino County. Which we have. And we've sold, and we bought more, and we'll sell it again, and it's okay. So, but some people really know where they want to be. They know where they want a vacation. I love that area. It might be, dream it up. And they have used our program just for the front end of it to find how to reach the sellers and acquire the property at a great, great, great price. So way below market what they would have spent, and it's great because they've done everything up front and got a flood of properties to choose from, and then they can go and pick out the exact one they want with the views that they want and just buy that one. And some of them, some of them have bought more than one, sold them, used them to pay for the one that they kept.
Yeah, I read a story on Success Plant like this. This guy, and I'll dramatize it a little bit. How many times have you sat at your table on Sunday and said, I'd really love to buy a cabin for my family in upstate X. Let's say Michigan. I'm from Michigan. Everybody loves to go to upstate Michigan on the weekend. So, or we call it up north. So you look around, you look on the MLS, maybe you take it as far as you go on Craigslist, call a realtor, or maybe a guy like your brother-in-law has got a great place up there and you're tired of sharing his stuff. So, you start looking for a property to buy and you don't have a ton of cash and it's hard to get a mortgage on vacant property, on and on and on. So you run into some stumbling blocks. The answer is utilize our program, find out where you want this little property, get the county data. It's real simple. And send everybody there who owns property a letter or in our case, an actual purchase agreement that says, hey, we're not horsing around. We want to buy a piece of property, but we only have X amount to spend, and we can close the deal by next Friday. It works like a dream. So now you're looking at, and I'm giving you, these are fictitious numbers. Let's say your brother-in-law, he paid, $90,000 for his place, and you're buying it for $5,000. It's worth the price of the program. Let's put it that way. That was a direct quote from the person who used this package that way. Mm-hmm. Way worse.
Way more. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then like Jill said, what ended up happening with this guy is he's like, well, why should I stop here? I didn't just get one call back, or I sent all these letters out. I got 20 back. Yeah, maybe I'll buy these other 19 or whatever the number was and sell them.
Well, especially because this person is clearly the expert in the area. That's where he wants to be.
Right, Jill.
And that's a great selling thing too that he has used with his buyers is, I live down the street. I know this area. I know it's gorgeous. So this is where I want to be. Hey, this is the price. It's awesome.
Right. And there's, we haven't had yet, and we have plans to expand in this market or try to, this whole culture or subculture of preppers or people who live off the grid. And this is a fantastic, incredible way to buy really, really inexpensive property. If you want to build an underground bunker, that's not one of my goals in life.
Yikes.
But there are big, if you go on YouTube and type
where are you going with that?
You go on YouTube and type living off the grid. There's a lot of people that have YouTube shows. I get sucked into these people because I love it. I love this concept. They lived in Manhattan their whole life and they bought a 40-acre property in Nevada and they just love it. They don't have any bills. The only bill in life is food and a property tax bill.
So many companies I've noticed, it used to be remote workers was, I don't know if we could, how we can do this and make it work. And it seems like a lot of those hurdles are gone and removed. Remote work is now a really great thing to do. It saves the company money. It saves the employee money. Everybody loves it. So we don't all have to be in our office to be successful.
Right.
So I think that's what I've noticed too, is a lot of people moving outside of the city and not dealing with that.
Right.
And they want to be out there and quiet. And it's
hey, the bottom line is this.
Breathe.
We've said this, I've said this a million times in blogs and everything else. If you can develop the talent to buy undervalued real estate, you are going to win in life financially times 80. If you can buy an apartment building that is 50% of its value because there's an apartment building owner or an heir to an apartment building owner, or all the reasons that people buy property quickly. I mean, people sell property quickly not for top dollar, and you'll find them when you direct mail them. If you can buy undervalued property and you got a way to sell it or a person to sell it to quickly, you will not have to work at your day job for long.
You can use that in anything. And
that's what we teach.
Uh-huh. I didn't even think about, that was a really great point that you brought up. I never thought about it like that. That's a life skill that if you could develop that, you could use it for anything. Just get comfortable negotiating anything from your salary in your current job right now. I mean, that's a valuable life skill.
Yeah.
I know the job that you're hoping to get out of. I saw that look. So I know where you're going with that. I'm just saying, remember we tell everybody don't quit your day job yet. Yeah. So I'm just, you could practice up your salary at least while you're there.
So a couple podcasts ago and a couple weeks ago, I wrote a blog, which ended up being incredibly well read for some reason, called 5 Rental Houses Will Feed a Family for Generations. And so the blog went on to talk about, why does everybody fail at buying single family residential houses and trying to rent them out? And because they're just doing it wrong. They're not developing that skill. They're going out on the MLS and trying to buy this property and getting a loan and all that stuff. It's just absolutely backwards in my opinion. Mm-hmm. What you need to do is develop the skill to buy undervalued property and then buy it for cash. And if you don't have the cash, and nobody has the cash to go spend $120,000 on a property, you find a guy that does, because he doesn't know how to buy undervalued property, and then you're friends for life. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Because you have the skill to go buy an undervalued office building or an undervalued cemetery or whatever.
You're just brokering awesome deals and you're just getting a piece of the profit. Nothing better than that, by the way.
Exactly, Joe. So you take a piece of the thing, and you don't have to be a licensed agent to do this because you're a partner in the thing.
Yep.
And once you have enough cash, you pick and choose the best ones that you come across for yourself.
Exactly.
It does not take long to get 5 houses that are paid for, done with good renters in there, and it's collecting money.
Exactly.
I know this from experience.
Great point.
How else can you use this package? You could use it as hold up your coffee table.
Yes, that's a great idea.
You could use the DVDs as coasters for your coffee.
You sure could. You could, Frisbees. We've played Frisbee with them.
We have in the office. You could use them as target practice.
Pull. Oh my gosh. Wow, that went sideways. It was great.
That's probably, I wish somebody, you know what? We should have a contest. Like
the most creative way.
Send in a picture of the most messed up way you're using this package to like.
Wait a minute. It's got to have some rules on it though. We don't want any X-rated or inappropriate. Just
why not?
Creative.
Are you kidding? That's what, we don't have to publish it. It just might be fun. We should put a board up in the office, you know.
There we go. It's really funny. Here's what I do with the program.
I want to tell you a funny college story along these lines. And I never did this. I only heard this story. But there were a group of people who sent donuts to a rival group of people. And the donuts were consumed quickly because they're donuts.
Uh-oh.
And then the next day, they sent the sender sent pictures of The donuts.
I've heard of
that
this.
they ate in super compromised situations.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. That's not where we go.
We just lost all our female listeners.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
And doubled our male listener audience.
God, Steven, what are you?
It's not gonna. It won't. I'll cut it out.
Oh, yeah. No, you won't.
It won't make the final thing.
Yeah, whatever. I was thinking another good way is for anyone that has any problem with children falling asleep at night. It could be a great bedtime story.
Yeah. Yeah, pop a DVD in and listen to Jill and Steve bore your son to sleep.
Read from the reading material, and then you do this with the county. And then watch your child go conk.
And now you successfully purchased your real estate for half price.
That's right. Sweet dreams, sweetheart.
I'd like to think it's a little more animated than that.
It is. Hey, come on. My part is. I got to say. I'm not all the data part. You're the data part. But
I'm going to brag. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You just did a great job, though. Go ahead. Bring it.
Of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of units of the original Land Academy program that we've sold, how many returns have we gotten, Jill?
1.
And I'm really proud of that.
Well, you know what's really interesting is the only one I'm sure who was listening to the show.
Yeah, probably.
Because it was just, it wasn't exactly what he was looking for, but the motivation that he gets from our show and everything, he told me, I mean, super great guy, that's really what he was looking for. So, but that was it.
Yeah, stuff changes, I just
talk about being honest.
Yeah. And my point is, people seem to like it.
They love it. So
maybe they need to raise their standards, or maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe our competition is so bad that we just shine.
Oh, I just think we're just different. You and I do things differently.
Maybe it's
you know what? You know what it is?
They don't have you, Jill. That's what it is.
Well, we're upfront and honest, and we just were honest right there. And that's the big picture.
I think
you really want to know? We're upfront and honest about everything, and we're going to tell you this is really how it works.
I think you nailed it. I think that is the single biggest factor in this Land Academy thing that makes us different than all real estate. Well, that and we're actually doing it.
That too.
But I think we have a podcast called "People Just Want the Truth." It's been out for a while. It's true. I look at all the numbers on our podcast, how many downloads there are. That one does really well because I really think it's true. I think we're in a day and age. Jill and I have talked about this.
Yep.
We live in a day and age where consumers are just used to being disappointed. They're used to getting some stuff and they see it wherever the message reaches them. They say, that's a good idea. I'm going to buy this thing. And then they get it home, get into it or whatever. Not even just with education, but like a blender even. And it's like, they didn't tell me that I had to clean all these parts off every time.
Right.
They're just used to being disappointed.
There was information that was withheld.
Right.
And the truth wasn't fully disclosed up front that it's going to take this much time to be a pro at X, whatever it is.
I'd like to think we don't leave any of that out.
I know we don't.
I'd like to think that we're super straightforward, honest about all of it.
I know we are.
Right.
So to a fault,
you know? Oh yeah, probably. It's not all peaches and cream.
It's not all peaches and cream, and we'll share that too. But stay with it and learn from us and our little hiccups along the way. We'll save you, and everybody's going to win, and they are happening. If you're not sure, go look in successplant.com. That's all I have to say.
Well said, Jill. Let's go buy some property. Not a bad show.
Thank you. I agree.
That donut thing really happened.
I think I saw that. Was that? Were you really involved in that? Yeah. Oh, okay. I heard about that somewhere. I didn't know where. Okay, let's not bring up the donut thing again. Yeah, I know.
It's boys in college.
Yeah, it's boys. Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
That's the name of the next show.
Ixnay on the Onit's Day.
Next show
That's for you, Gordon.
The next name of the next show is That Donut Thing Really Happened.
No, we are not going to talk about the
crazy
donuts.
stuff did you do?
Because This is not.
What crazy prank did you pull?
Oh, come on. This is not American Pie or,
I remember a story about you chasing your brother around with a knife or something like that.
No.
I mean, so it's not just innocent Jill who wears dresses all the time.
No. My brother and I were nothing but loving and supportive and caring to this day.
Like all siblings.
Like all siblings. There was never holding anybody down or, I don't know, hurting them in any way or, heaven forbid, breaking any of their belongings. Anything like never a cross word.
What is it with siblings and just and how they, I'm not talking about you, just it's like on this planet. There's something about siblings. I don't know if it goes back to our animal heritage that they just want to kill each other.
Totally.
Maybe it's like an animal food thing.
I think it goes back to animals and survival of the fittest.
I was picking my kid up at the YMCA recently, and we're walking toward the car, and this woman had twin boys, and they were probably, did I ever tell you this story? And they probably were, these two twins were probably 4 or 5 years old, little boys. They're identical twins. They're dressed the same and everything. And yet, so they're all cute and everything. And
right. They look
so
cute.
I see the mom.
But they were boys, right?
Yeah, they're boys. Right. And the mom's walking toward the car. Like, actually, it was weird. It was out of place because she was so far away from them, as the mother. And
you're
so
like, why are these two way back here? There's the mom's way up there.
On the curb because they were being bad, And my hat's off to her. I think this kind of stuff should happen more often.
Yeah.
And she's just shaking her head a little bit. And
stand right there.
The two boys
don't move.
Are beating each other silly. And I just, and there's some kind of rage that goes on with siblings where, I don't know, how do we get on this?
I don't know, but I give her some credit because that was, I think, her way of breathing. Because if you've had children, we've all had that moment where you're like, please take them out of here because I'm going to do something,
Young kids solving their problems with violence.com.
I remember hiding from my kids. Like, I would make up having to go to the bathroom just to hide for a few minutes. I knew everybody was safe. I just needed a few minutes to compose myself because I wanted to cry.
I never cried with the kids. I cried at my job a lot.
Cried at me. Just kidding.
My job sucked so bad. I would just go I would put my head down on the desk and cry, or I'd go in the bathroom and cry, or.
Really?
Yeah, not really, but that's how I felt about it.
How about now?
That feeling you had when your kids were like that, where you close the door and you're banging your head again. I felt like that every day as an accountant.
Oh, okay. Never been an accountant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I share that because I think there's a lot of people like that.
That's a good point. I appreciate that, Stephen. Thank you for sharing.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.